Murdaugh's double murder convictions were overturned earlier this week, with the South Carolina Supreme Court ordering a new trial in the killings of his wife and son. So this morning, we have attorney Frank Cassese. He's joining us to break down just how this happened and why. So good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, so this is a case a lot of us, we've been following, whether it's, in the courtroom or the documentaries and TV shows they made about this. But for those who are unfamiliar, kind of catch us up a little bit.
Okay, so Alex was convicted of killing his family in South Carolina, and his attorneys appealed it based on constitutional violations. There were allegations that a former clerk had tampered with the jury.
Okay.
So the Supreme Court of South Carolina agreed. There was evidence that she did in fact tamper with the jury, that she influenced the jury improperly as the trial was going on, and that's like the #1 no-no in jury trials across the country. The jury and deliberations are very sacred. So it is an egregious violation if you are on trial, and so the Supreme Court is sending it back. Now, oddly enough, he is in prison for 40-plus years for federal crimes. Financial crimes, that's correct. So he's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So in reality, he can go back to court, win, be acquitted of these charges, of the murder charges, and he's going to remain in prison the rest of his life.
No matter what.
Yeah, and so it's an interesting case. I mean, it is... as a trial lawyer, I would say it's probably one of the biggest concerns you can ever have is somebody to improperly influence your jury. And there were some allegations that it may have been for a book deal. She had some stake in the game, but that is why the court overturned the verdict, and they're sending it back.
And not just talking about this case, give us some examples of ways that someone can influence or, tamper a jury's thoughts on a case.
Sure. So what people don't realize is the general public sees the news and sees snippets of stories or cases. When you're in trial, you see all of the evidence. And it's the states, whether it's the state of Ohio, South Carolina, the Commonwealth, it's their job to prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. So sometimes when people are acquitted, it doesn't necessarily mean a jury thinks they're innocent. It means that the prosecutors didn't prove it to the jury beyond a reasonable doubt. And they're only allowed to use the evidence that is in front of them. So they can't read the papers. They can't Google some information that they're not presented with, because there can be problems with that.
Very true.
It can be illegitimate. So a lot of times judges will give strict orders to juries while trials are going on. Don't speak to your family. Don't go on your cell phones. Don't read it. Don't go on Facebook. You can only consider the evidence that's presented to you in this trial.
And we're hearing that they're going to retry the case, and they're saying aggressively, as fast as they can. And
I'm sure.
Yeah, and the Attorney General, South Carolina's Attorney General made a statement yesterday saying no one is above the law. What do you think he meant by that? So,
the defendant in this case was a former lawyer and was a prominent figure in South Carolina. And I think that the Attorney General is making the statement like, we're going to go full blast against him here, and we're going to make sure justice is served, and we're going to do it the right way. So I don't know. It just sounds to me like we discussed it prior to coming on the show. This is one of those things that it really doesn't matter. Quite frankly, he's in for 40 years.
Yeah.
So
he's gonna spend the rest of his life in jail.
Yeah.
No matter what.
No matter what.
All right. Thank you so much for breaking it down for us, Frank.
Yeah, no problem.